So for my first, whatever this is going to be, conversation about building skills, I thought I'd do something that I enjoy a lot and forgot to mention last time, which is music. I've been working on singing for a while, and I'd say about a year and a half ago, I finally started getting serious about guitar and trying to figure out how I can learn to play guitar in a way that works for me and is fun and doesn't feel like homework, which I don't really feel like doing. So one of the things that I found was playing just regular open chords. To me, sounds the best with my ability to work the strings. I'm not that great at working the strings yet, so they don't sound that great compared to a lot of other people I know when they play who have better finger string dexterity or feel or whatever it is that needs to be developed. But compared to some of the other methods I tried, this one works for me best, so it's the one that I chose. And I tried to find the easiest songs, and first I thought it was John Denver's Leaving on a Jet Plane, which chord progression is G, D, G, D, G, D, C, and that seemed pretty easy, you know. But then I found one that was even easier, which is the Eagles' Already Gone, which just repeats GDC. And I think I might have said GDC last time when it was GC, 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 D. And this one is GDC, which goes G, D, C, and then it just repeats. So I think this is the easiest song that I know of that exists that I've heard before, and having heard it before, it kind of sounds like music, so when I play, it'll sound like music too. So this is the, all I did was search for Ultimate Guitar Tabs Already Gone, and I found this as one of the chorus songs, which does it by chord progression, the chord song, as opposed to a lead or tab song where they play melodies. And so as you can see, it says G, D, and C, and for G, it's going to be this 6th string here on the 3rd fret, 5th string here on the 2nd fret, and then 1st string on the 3rd fret again for the G. And so you can find that information all over the place. I suggest you look up what these basic chord progressions or chords are, because I think it's the easiest way to make things that sound good on a guitar. Your mileage may vary, but that's where I'm going with this. So, reading along, you can see it starts out like, well, I heard some people talking just the other day, GDC, and they said that you were gonna put me on the shelf. But I got some news for you, and you'll soon find out it's true, and then you'll have to eat your lunch all by yourself. So that's changing in G, D, and C. And then, 'cause I'm already gone and I'm feeling strong, I will sing this victory song. Ooh. So I worked on singing before I started working on playing the guitar, and I think whether you're a good singer or not, it's probably worth trying to sing along when you play, at least by yourself, so that you can carry the song when you're having problems. When you're struggling to play the G and maybe you can't quite get it right, or you can't switch from the G to the D, or making the rounds, since that's all you're doing in this song is going around and around this G, D, and C. G, D, C. So for me, singing carried that. So when I was struggling, G, well, I heard some people talking just the other day, and they said you're gonna put me on a shelf. And so the talking through that, the singing through that, allows me to connect up a little bit more, even if I change up how quickly I can move through. And back when I couldn't make these patterns and I couldn't move between the patterns, I made it a lot easier, so I didn't give up so much, and I could do it longer. And I think part of the success, the limited success I've had, is due to being able to just enjoying holding the guitar and playing it and listening to it and getting used to this interaction where you hold this neck and you have to press down here, and you really don't have to press as hard as I press, but I haven't learned to do that yet. How to hold the pick. And there's lots of tutorials from people that are better than me. With the point of this, for the skill building, pick something easy that's approachable for you, that you understand, and then figure out a way to make it work for you so you can practice it. So, it can be fun, so it's like, that's what I like about this. And then in terms of the right hand, this is like your rhythm hand. It's where you kind of have fun, where the left hand, at least in the beginning, as far as I see, is more of like, it just needs to be in the right place and do the right thing and kind of be relaxed and just move with the progression, but it doesn't have to, doesn't come alive yet. That probably maybe happens later on. But this hand, so anything you can do with this hand, I think, that goes along with it and has like a rhythmic motion, can't be too wrong when you're starting, because everything's a mistake in terms of how you're going to think about it later on. So you might as well just make all the mistakes at once and get better at it, because you got to learn all these skills at once. So just so anyway, this is my recommendation for what an easy song is. Here's another way that I put this stuff together. Let's see. Let's close off this other stuff here. And so this method is how I look at it now. So I've stripped out most of the information you can see, and I just realized that it's GDC, so I just wrote down it's GD and C, and then I wrote it down in a way that it's easier for me to read. And maybe if we look at one of these other ones, this will be a little clearer as to why I think this is a good idea. Here's one. Dust in the Wind. Right? So, so this one, I've just written down what the chord progressions are with the lyrics, and even writing them down myself made me think about them a little more, and the way that I format this makes me think about them a little more. And so I think that's a good learning process, just transcribing it from one thing to another. If you're always just consuming it off of the Ultimate Guitar Tab site or some other site, that's a little more passive. And it's like, learning should be active. Everything you do about learning, I think, should be active. You should be trying to do stuff. It's like, well, I mean, that's exaggeration to say everything, but I think that's a goal. It's a goal for me to be active. Yeah, missing that today. Close my eyes, only for the moment, and the moment's gone. All these dreams pass before my eyes of curiosity. Dust in the wind, all we are is dust in the wind. Dust in the wind, all we are is dust in the wind. So again, my version's a little different than the way that it's traditionally played, although it's obviously based on it. And that's another way that I can be a little more active and try to find my own voice, try to find my own sound, and recognize that I'm coming from a place where I'm not very good at this. And so to get good at it, I'm going to have to practice, and I'm going to have to go through these all the things that I'm bad at. I have to spend time there being bad at it to learn how to be good at it. And I think that's something that's missing from a lot of learning and education is realizing that when you don't have skill at something, you're going to do it wrong, you're going to do it poorly, and that's the only way you can do it. And trying to hide that you're doing it poorly or hide that you're doing it wrong from yourself or anyone else is not going to allow you to get to the place where you're doing it well, because you have to build that foundation of skill, and you have to build that method of knowing all these little things. And it's like, and if you don't spend the time, like I'm doing now, to try to get better at feeling these things and allowing myself to do it badly and not trying to re-record it again and again and again so that it sounds right to you, but really it took me 1,000 takes to get it right, I think that will slow down my progress, and ultimately I won't be as good because it won't be as natural, it won't be as fun, so I won't do it as often. It won't be the thing that I look to do in a break, that I look to do that, as opposed to something that I try to schedule for myself, because eventually I want this end result, but the journey sucks and I don't want to be on it, and every footstep is a pain to do. It's like I want every footstep to be a joy to do, and I want the progress to just come from that, to come from the enjoyment of working on it. So that's my first kind of skill building discussion on how I approach things and how I look at things, and how I've been working on trying to learn how to play guitar, and on learning a little bit about music from an active approach. That's it.